driver who burst onto the Formula 1 stock car scene in 2019 was Liam Gilbank. Liam had a fantastic first year in the sport and will certainly be one to watch in 2020. Before the new season starts, we thought it would be a great opportunity to catch up with Liam to find out a little bit more about him and his future plans. Liam, thank you for doing this. I think your first interview, I guess, as a Formula 1 stock car driver, would that be right?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So the Gilbank name has been synonymous with the sport for as long as I can remember. Where did it all start for your family?
Well, it all started with my granddad. Back in the day, he used to do a mechanic for Willie Harrison, and then he moved on to building engines for him and building cars for him and all that. And then when my dad turned 16, he stuck him in one, and then we started on the side.
So your dad started when he was 16. How old's your dad now?
But he's in his 40s now. He's getting on.
Is he?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So it's kind of a long history with the sport.
Yeah.
So bring us right up to date. Your debut was the November Gala meeting, the last event of the 2018 season. Can you remember much about that meeting, that night?
Yeah, I can remember just going out in practice, because I'd never drove before. I drove it to the bus and then turned up at Birmingham, and it did a lot faster than minutes, I must say.
So were you scared?
No, I'm quite excited, to be fair. Because we're having banter at garage all the time, and that. So I'm telling my dad I'm easily going to beat him and all that.
So full of bravado.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. So that first meeting, start at the back.
Yeah.
Did you do that every race or?
Yeah, I started at the back from all the races. Managed to get in the final actually. I started at the back in consolation and managed to get up to 6th, so I got in final, and then I didn't finish final. I didn't feel upset.
Got a great first meeting.
Yeah.
So let's set you up for 2019. So 2019, you finished the season as Novice of the Year, top of the blue grade, and 270 points. Did that exceed your expectations, considering it was your first full year in the sport?
Well, I really main target was to get to a red top, but I didn't quite get there. But I'm running 1 point out, so I don't think I've done too much.
That's a huge kind of target you set yourself to get to red in your first year.
There's not many people have gone from white to red top, so I just thought it'd be a bit of a statement if I could do it.
Yeah. So, but pleased with the outcome.
Yeah.
And you got Novice of the Year. Was that one you were aiming for? Or?
Yeah, I was also aiming that. That were one of them. I wanted to win that because you only get one go at it. So.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. So, you know, mentioned right at the very beginning, the Gilbank name has been around the sport for a long time. Does that bring with it a certain level of expectation from you, or are you kind of quite okay with it?
No, I'm quite relaxed about it, to be honest. I think I personally put more pressure on myself than anyone else puts on me, because I just want to be the best.
Okay. So you're not getting from your dad, your granddad, they're not kind of giving you...
No, they're alright. They know that I'm driven enough on myself to...
Brilliant. So you've come into Formula 1, full season 2019. Did you consider going into anything else other than Formula 1?
No, not really. I mean, I suppose the dream is to be race sprint cars in America, but that's a bit far away, isn't it?
It is. But it was always Formula 1?
Yeah, well, growing up around the tracks, watching my dad all the time, I definitely wanted to have it.
And prior to Formula 1, what did you race? Did you race anything else prior to Formula 1 stock cars?
Just raced the minis for 3 years. Before that, I just raced go-karts for a bit.
Okay. Very different, go-karts and minis.
Well, we went for go-karts originally because my dad thought it'd be less dangerous because we're on a small and he thought we were going to get but then you're racing around at 50 mile an hour at 4 off floor with no seat belts in, so both about the same really. So then when I turned 13, I got a mini.
And did you have a good mini career? What did you kind of...
Yeah, well, I managed to win a few finals and get up to red tops. Cooking did all right.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. So 17 years of age, you're one of the youngest drivers on the grid. How does it feel when you line up against John Lund or you see Frank Raymond Jr. in your mirrors? Does that kind of cross your mind?
Well, it does a bit, but then you just get your head down and get on with it.
But it's John Lund sat next to you.
Yeah, but he's old now, isn't he? Time to move over.
So 17, like I said, you are 17, aren't you? I've not just made that up. So not long out of school. So what was your favourite subject in school?
To be honest, I didn't really have a favourite subject in school. I weren't too good at school, to be honest. I only went to school, so then I was sat in his classroom thinking, I've finished this and I can go to the garage.
Okay, so you didn't enjoy it then,
No.
is that fair to say?
No.
Okay. Are any of your friends interested in your racing? Do they kind of know what you do at the weekends or down at the workshop?
No, not really. I kind of kept it quiet all the way through school, to be fair, because people don't really understand when you start talking about it. They think it's just banger racing, but it's far from it. They don't seem to understand it. So
are they not kind of like Liam goes off and does something with racing and don't really?
No, I don't know, really.
You want to bring them along? Show them what you do. So what do you do for a job? So you left school, so what do you do for a job? What is your job?
I've got my own business with my dad, with JME Fabrications, and we just fabrications really. We built my tarmac car, and we've done a few work on other people's cars, and built some stables and installed a few conveyors, all sorts of stuff. Really.
Okay. So is this kind of you set for life in terms of a job and a career, or is it something else you'd like to kind of go and do outside of that?
Hopefully, yeah, because like my dad's worked for someone else most of his life until he started this, and he's found already it's a lot more freedom. Like this event, we came down Friday. You can't really normally do that when you work for someone else, but we just both come down.
Okay, good. And it's going well?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going all right.
So stock cars is a very time-consuming hobby. Do you have time to do anything else outside of like working on your car or racing?
Well, we work 7 days a week, so I don't really have much spare time. When I'm a bit out, play at Xbox a bit, watch a bit of telly, just normal stuff really.
Okay. So what's your favourite television programme?
I'd probably say something like Fast and Loud sort of car programmes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a favourite film?
Days of Thunder.
Do you?
Yeah.
That is my favourite film too. Yeah. Do you have it on like repeat? And
yeah, I've watched it about 200 times.
200 times, so you could like quote some lines out of it, could you?
Yeah, me and my dad do that all the time. We're always at it. It's funny.
Quick quoting Days of Thunder. Love that. Do you want to do some now?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Opportunity. It could be like a new career. Okay, so you guys have always built your own cars. You said that that's kind of your one of your main businesses now. It's kind of building stock cars. So your shell car, probably one of the oldest on the grid.
Yeah,
so what is the history of that? Where did that all start?
Well, it was built in 1994 when my dad was 18, a long time ago. He got laid off from his first job and then built that blue car in 6 weeks. Wilf Warnes' garage he used to be number 91, he used to race. With him, my granddad and my dad, they all built it in 6 weeks.
Okay. And it's still going. Have you done much to kind of bring it up to date, I guess? And because it is very competitive, you won a final last year in it.
It's had a few updates, but it's still original, really.
Okay. And you debuted a new tarmac car towards the back end of 2019. So kind of tell me about that.
Well, when I turned 16, when I just finished my, obviously I wanted to jump straight into F1. And again, my dad said I'm too small and would get hurt, so I had some time off. And then in that time, I built that car because it said originally, if you want to race, you've got to build your own car.
Yeah.
Thinking it could put me off, but it didn't.
So you built that yourself?
Yeah, I built it myself. I was doing it for like a year, and then me and my dad had 6 months on it, they're really finishing it.
So is there anything different about it that kind of is different to kind of stock cars already out there? Is there any ideas you've put into it that you could share that's not like top secret?
Well, I mean, technically, it's not that much different to a normal car, but I've tried to style it so it looks completely different to everything else.
A bit of a tilt cab thing going on, hasn't it? Is that right?
Yeah. The garage floor's not level.
So it was a mistake, was it?
Yeah.
So do you prefer racing on shell or tarmac?
Shell.
Why prefer shell?
Because it's fun, innit? It goes sideways.
Okay. And do you have a favourite shell track?
Kingsley.
Okay.
It's got to be Kingsley. You can race 2 and 3 wide. There's multiple lines all over the track. It changes throughout the track, and it's always prepared well.
Yeah. You had a big incident at Sheffield. I think one of the last meetings there last year.
Yeah, it went flying straight over the top of Phoebe Wayman. So landed it.
Yeah, it was impressive. Yeah. It was impressive. There's a great picture, I think, in Stock Car magazine of you kind of up in the air. We were like, I'm going over the fence.
I got my eyes shut, to
Did
be
you?
honest, yeah.
So we've talked about your cars. There's loads of great stock cars out there. Is there any that you particularly admire? You think actually that's a really nice stock car?
If there are any others I would admire, I would say Lee Ferrer's tarmac car. That's a nice car. He always turns out a decent car when he builds one.
Yeah. Any others? Just Lee?
No, just. And it's got a nice paint job on it as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you've been racing for a full year. Who's the hardest driver you've come across since you've been racing?
To be honest, I've not really had that much trouble. So like Frankie Wayman and Matt Newson, the big names, they've like respected me quite a lot. They've not really just smashed me straight into the fence like they could do if they wanted. I've not really had any problems with anyone.
Okay. Do you struggle to get past somebody, or is there anybody you think, oh?
Well, if anyone, I would have to say Ryan Harrison, because if you move out of his way, he also moves out of the way just so he can hit you. He likes it, doesn't he?
So if you see Ryan in your mirrors, you're like, I don't know what to do.
You're getting it anyway, no matter if you move out of the way or not.
Are you bothered by that? Is it just like, just one of them things?
It's just one of them, isn't it?
So you're part of a talented group of up-and-coming drivers within the sport. Is there any that you consider your sort of main rival, if you like?
I'd say all of them, really. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Courtney Witts, because she's not done that many meetings because she's not got her own car, but in the meetings she's done, she's been very impressive.
Yeah.
I think if she had a full-time car, she'd be up there.
Okay. And do you kind of, when you're in a race meeting and you see you kind of got those guys racing against you, do you kind of think, I want to beat them today, or do you, I want to beat everybody?
I want to beat everyone.
Okay, cool. So, we've talked about your favourite track, and you've been around the sport for a while, so if there's a track you could bring back to race on, that obviously we can't race on at the moment, which one would it be?
Coventry, got to be. Because I race Mini there quite a lot, and it's always a good track, massive straights. So I'd like to go around there in Formula 1, see how fast it is.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
It's still there though, it might come back one day. We can live in hope.
Just turn up, jump fence.
Who's going to know? Who's going to know? So, what's the best piece of advice you've been given so far that's kind of helped you in your racing at the minute?
Yeah, well, obviously I've got my dad giving me a lot of advice throughout the season, trying to teach me out with things, but probably the best advice would be my first meeting at Sheffield. We went onto the track and it stood on the start straight, and he said you need to turn in here, and then but if you try and turn in here, you're going to hit fence. And I did 2 races, and then by the time it got to Grand National, I thought I was good. Went a bit wider, went straight fence.
So the people talk about the fence at Sheffield and say that it's quite a soft fence unless you hit a post.
Yeah. Well, the post and rope's not actually that soft. Your problem is when it bounces back out and someone can drive straight to the back wheel.
Yeah, it's not good. So you say your dad gives you some advice. So is that kind of on the bus to meetings, or is it when you're at the track? Do you kind of discuss how you race that particular surface or that event?
Well, all the time, really. I mean, before I started, we watched a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff, and it was showing me where people are doing the right thing, where they're going wrong and stuff. But like, if I'm in the heat and he's not in one, he'll watch me and then tell me if I'm doing wrong or we need to change car or that.
So it is very much like the guys in Days of Thunder, isn't it? Where I like it. Brilliant. Okay, so we're at Motorsport with Attitude today.
Yeah.
There's loads of other drivers from other formulas. What would you say to any of them to convince them to come into Formula 1 if they don't already race Formula 1 stock cars?
I don't think there's many motorsports that's as hard and as fast as F1s. I mean, there's F2s, but they're not as fast, are they?
No.
It's like the pinnacle, isn't it, of motorsport in England, really.
So you'd sell it? You'd absolutely say it's the right thing to do?
It's great.
So the new season's just around the corner. Have you set yourself any goals or aspirations or targets that you want to do in the new season?
Well, I looked at the final grades of last year, and obviously I seen that I finished 17th, 1 point off red top, and I thought, shootout, it's only top 12 in it, it's not that hard, so I probably think I can get in there. It's only 5 more people to beat, isn't it?
So you're going for shootout next year?
For it, yeah. That's
going to get a bit hard when you're in that shootout though, isn't it?
Beer 8.
They're going to start itching you then though, aren't they?
I'll let them back.
So we're racing at some new tracks to you in 2020, so we're going to Bristol, we're going up to Scotland. Have you got any plans to go and race at those tracks?
Yeah, I think we'll be doing all of them, really. Okay. I've been to race Scotland in the minis, but can't wait to get in the F1 around Cowdenbeath.
Right, Cowdenbeath scares me watching stock cars around Cowdenbeath.
I think it's great.
Do you?
Yeah.
But it's just a wall. There's just a wall all the way around it.
We've got a photo once. My dad back in there when he raced there, he's gone up wall and the girder's gone straight through radiator. That's cool.
So you're not scared of the wall at Gilbank Beath?
No.
Brilliant. Okay. So I guess it's not Scotland, but what's the best holiday destination you've been to?
Probably say I've been quite a few places in America, but anywhere in America really, it's great. We always look where there's some race meetings, me and my dad, and then we say we'll go there. So not interested in shopping or sunbathing. We'll go watch some racing.
So that's where the sprint car attractions come from.
Yeah.
Is that doable? Do you reckon? Is that?
I don't know. Hopefully. I hope so.
But the thing is, this might get you noticed. Somebody might watch this in America and go, that Liam Gilbank, he's there. Okay, celebrity crush. Have you got one?
No, not really.
No one?
No.
Liam disappointed me. Your dad is leading last lap, going into the last bend of the final. You're behind him in second. You've got a proper chance of taking him out. Are you going to do it?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, flat out.
Really?
Yeah.
So Kingston, you're going to put him up the fence?
Yeah.
Will he be okay with that?
Well, I don't know. Probably quite a well, won't it?
And finally, what does the future hold for Liam Gilbank in Formula 1 stock cars?
Well, hopefully I'll just carry on winning races. I'm going to try and get some championships under my belt soon. Keep going.
Do you know the likes? You've got the likes of Tom, Frankie, at the top of the sport, and they are at the pinnacle of the sport at the minute. Is that kind of where you sort of pitch yourself? You want to be up there?
Yeah, I definitely see myself being up there in a few years.
Okay. Brilliant, Liam. It's been fantastic to chat to you. Good luck for 2020.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.